When I speak to a graduating class of business students, they often ask me, usually with some concern, if I can give them some suggestions or ideas on what they can do to be successful in the world of work. I always give them the same advice. It worked for me when I was a young man, and it works for everybody at every stage of his or her career. My advice consists of two parts. First, as soon as you get settled in at your new job and you're on top of your work, go to your boss and tell him or her that you want more responsibility. Tell him or her that you are determined to make the maximum contribution possible in this organization and that you would very much like more responsibility whenever it becomes available. When I first started doing this as a young executive with a large corporation, my boss nodded and smiled and thanked me for my interest. But nothing happened, at least for a while. Every few days I would report to my boss and mention in parting that I wanted more responsibility. After a few weeks of this, my boss gave me a project to study and evaluate. I jumped on it like a dog jumping on a bone and ran off. I worked day and night and throughout the weekend, tearing that project apart, gathering research, reassembling the details, and putting together a report and a proposal. On Monday morning, I was back to my boss with a complete proposal on the subject. He was obviously surprised. He said there was no rush. I didn't expect anything from you for a week or two. I thanked him for his concern and told him that this project evaluation is complete as you requested, and, by the way, I would really like more responsibility. Things began to change for me very soon after that project evaluation. A week later, I was given another small task completely outside my range of duties. Again, I grabbed the task and completed it to the best of my ability. A week or two later, my boss gave me another task, and then a week later, still another task. In every case, whatever it was, whether I knew anything about it or not, I immediately went to work on it, often on my own time and on the weekends. I would get it done and back to my boss as fast as I could. This brings me to my second piece of advice for anyone who wants to be successful in his or her career. Once you get the responsibility that you have asked for, complete it quickly and well, and get it back to your boss as fast as you can, as though it was a grenade with the pin pulled out. Move quickly. Don't delay. It's absolutely amazing the positive impression you will make on other people when you keep asking for more responsibility, and when you get the responsibility, you complete the task quickly. Very soon, my boss had marked me down as the go-to guy. Whenever something came up that he needed handling immediately, he called me rather than any of the other executives, some of whom had been working there for several years. In no time, I began to move up in the organization. One day, he threw me a task, like a football to a tight end in a close game, which I caught and ran with for a touchdown. By acting quickly, flying 1,000 miles and working day and night, I discovered a fraud and saved the company $2 million. If I had delayed even a couple of days, the money would have been lost forever. After that success, the dam broke. First I was given a large assignment, then responsibility for an entire new division, then another division, and then a third. By the time I had been working for that company for 2 years, I was running 3 divisions involving almost $50 million worth of business activities and managing a staff of more than 50 people in 3 offices. Meanwhile, my co-workers were still coming in at 9 o'clock sharp, going for lunch with each other, and quitting at 5 o'clock to go for drinks at the bar. They muttered and told each other that the reason I was moving up was because I was lucky, or the boss was playing favorites. They never learned the importance of asking for more responsibility and moving fast. The retiring president of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce many years ago told a story at his going-away dinner. He had become one of the most respected business people in America and overseas. He had developed the kind of reputation for high-quality work that every person in business dreams of having. He said that when he was a young man, unsuccessful and frustrated, he came across a saying written on a brown lunch bag and posted on a high school bulletin board. As he passed the bulletin board, something caused him to stop, and he read the words on the lunch bag. They said, "Your success in life will be in direct proportion to what you do after you do what you are expected to do." He told the audience that these words changed his life. Up to that time in his career, he felt that he was doing a good job because he was doing what he had been told to do, what he was expected to do. But from that point onward, he resolved that he would do far more than what was expected of him. He resolved that he would always go the extra mile and do more than he was paid for. From that day onward, for the rest of his career, he got up a little earlier, worked a little harder, and stayed a little later. He moved faster from task to task, and from customer to customer. And here is what always happens. The faster he moved, the more experience he got. The more experience he got, the better he got at his job. The better he got at his job, the better results he got in the same period of time. In no time at all, he was being paid more and promoted faster. By moving faster and always doing more than expected, he had shifted onto the fast track in his career and began moving ahead rapidly. He was soon promoted into a new department, then hired into a new industry, and given a new area of responsibility. In each case, he had one strategy. Do more than you're paid for. Do more than others expect. Go the extra mile. Get busy, get going, take action. Don't waste time. And he never looked back. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "Determine never to be idle. No person will have occasion to complain of the want of time who never loses any. It is wonderful how much may be done if we are always doing." Later he wrote, "The rising sun has never caught me in bed in my entire life." Here's an important point. The time is going to pass anyway. The weeks, months, and years of your life are going to go by in any case. The only question is, what are you going to do with this time? Since the day is going to go past in any case, why not start a little earlier, work a little harder, and stay a little later? Why not put yourself on the side of the angels? Why not develop a reputation as the go-to guy or gal who everyone looks to when they need to get something done quickly and well? This will do more to put your foot on the accelerator of your career than anything else you can imagine.